Oops, I think you're on mute.
Hello.
Oh, there we go.
How are you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing very good too. I know I came a little bit early, but I was like, well, it doesn't matter.
Okay. I was late. Welcome. Well, my name is Jamie Menny, and I am a MACAC member, and I will be the facilitator of today's presentation. I'm just going to share my screen with you to go over just a few. Oh, let me get to it. Can you see my screen that says MACAC Welcome Reps?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so this session is 45 minutes long, so we'll end at 2:45. It is being recorded. With all Zoom meetings, we ask you to turn off your mic while you're not speaking, but then use the share button when you do need to share your screen. Will one of you be sharing your screen?
Yeah, I will be.
Okay, so when I end this, we can just test that out quick. Will you be playing a video at all?
No.
Okay, then we don't have to worry about that. Any questions that come up, you can email to that Strive scan. For the chat, we're going to be asking all participants to enter any questions into the Q&A button. They actually won't have ability to chat, but you have the ability to chat if you want to put in any links or any of your information. You have the ability to put that in. For the Q&A, if you're going to answer a question specifically just within the Q&A, they just ask you to do that to send privately so that you don't type in any identifying information for the student if they didn't want that shared. And it's okay if we don't get to every question because they will get a transcript of all the questions afterwards to follow up with. Once everybody joins in, I will be sharing this slide and just going over these 4 points for them to know. And then I will turn off my mic and hand it over to you guys. Any questions? Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing. And if one of you, if you guys want to test out, I couldn't tell if it was Nick or Logan. I wasn't looking at my screen.
I'll be doing it.
Do you want to test that out?
He lost out on this one during our last get-together meeting, so that's how Aaron and I were.
What a load of crap! You had it up before I even had an opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'll share it here quick.
Oh.
Everybody see? Well, it should be spinning.
Almost
Coming up.
Maybe.
Maybe not.
It's just spinning on my end.
Yeah,
there we go. You see it now?
Mm-hmm. Can you try to go through? Yes, okay. It's working.
Okay. We should be good. We might just have to wait a little bit for it to
Hey, Logan, what's wrong with your picture on that second slide?
I should submit a new one to our directory, I think.
You know I absolutely had to say something about it because I know you were
I hate it. I absolutely hate it.
I had to.
Oh, there, now it's just on my screen, so I'll just leave it up. I stopped sharing, right?
Yep, perfect. So I'll share my screen for the first part of it, and then I will send it off to you guys.
Do we know how many students signed up?
I do not have access to that information, so no, I don't know. Hopefully hundreds.
That's wishful thinking right there.
50 something last time, and I think like 6 showed. minor details.
Start the broadcast.
Wow. Look at those numbers.
Well, welcome participants. My name is Jamie Meny, and I am a MACAC member with the Minnesota Association for College Admission Counseling. And you are here for the Minnesota Virtual College Fair. We are in store for a great presentation. And I just have a few, before we get started, a few housekeeping tips, and then I will turn it off for our presenters. The first is you have access to the Q&A button to type in any questions that you have for the presenters at any time through the presentation, and they will make sure to get those answered. And if for any reason they can't get to all of them, they will get copies of those and can follow up. Your camera and your microphone has been turned off. So just note that. There are a lot more sessions available today and tomorrow. And so we encourage you to check out strivescan.com/Minnesota to sign up for more sessions. There is no deadline to sign up until the start of the session. And know that the recordings will be available to you at the website provided about a week after the college fair has ended. So with that, I am going to send it over to our presenters to get started.
Everybody can see my screen, correct? Perfect. Well, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. Main point of our presentation here that you're going to listen to is just to kind of introduce you to what to think about with healthcare programs. You know, what to kind of look for when you're exploring program options, what to look for when you're exploring college options, and then just some things to consider as you're kind of going through the process. You know, what's application process? Is it open enrollment? What's it going to take to get into the program? All of those sort of different techniques, information, anything we can do to help you along. Please feel free to take advantage of the Q&A button as well. Type your questions to us. We do have some time at the end of this to go ahead and get those questions answered. And again, anything we don't get to, you'll get, it sounds like, later on. So first off here, we'll just go ahead and introduce ourselves. My name's Logan Schmidt. I'm an enrollment manager for M-State. We have 4 different campuses: Moorhead, Detroit Lakes, Fergus Falls, and Wadena, Minnesota. I am based out of our Moorhead campus, but kind of working with students on the front lines, really all the way up till your first time registering.
Thompson. I'm an academic advisor and admissions rep up here at Northland Community Technical College. We are one college that has 2 main campuses, one in East Grand Forks, Minnesota, and one over in Thief River, which is about 50 miles west of there. So that's where we're located and enjoying the lovely weather that we have up here.
And hi, everyone. My name is Aaron Adebayo. I work at MSU Moorhead, Minnesota State University, Moorhead. I am a transfer admission rep. So what that means is that once you're done with your 2-year college, or you just took a break from school, from high school, and you're thinking about college, you come to me and I help you with your way forward. So today, think about your options of 2-year college or 4-year college, or going to 2 years and transferring to 4 years. So we have those options available for you here. So welcome. I hope this session will be informative for you.
So just some things to think about again as we're going through the presentation. And remember, there are no right answer to these questions. Each student's going to take a different route to get to whatever that end goal is for them. Your programs may require different routes. It's completely dependent on you and what you're looking for. So some things to think about again while we're going through this. Why are you interested in healthcare programs? What got you to this point that you decide, oh, I know I want to go for nursing, or I want to go be a doctor? Just start thinking about what your why is. Also, what kind of healthcare programs are you interested in? Is there multiple that you need to start exploring some of those different options, maybe some job shadowing, different things like that? Or how do you kind of take that list and narrow it down to what you really want to do? And then again, what schooling is needed to reach your goal? Is it going to be a 2-year route? Is it going to require a bachelor's degree? Is it going to require more than that? So just, again, some things to start thinking about while we're going through this. So one of the main questions I always get from students looking at our programs here at M-State is, how do I get accepted into the program, right? That's the biggest thing. Students, depending on what program they're looking at, they may be looking at something that's called an open enrollment program. Basically for that, there's nothing specific you need to do, right? So when you apply to the college, you're going to declare that as your major. You declare that lets your advisor know, hey, you need to register for these courses, and you just go ahead and register, right for the courses that are going to be needed for that major. So there are some programs like that. They may be more kind of behind the scenes, maybe office work, different things like that, but there are definitely programs, if that's what you're interested in, that you can definitely take that route to go. There's also going to be selective admission programs. Now, what that means is you're going to declare your major again on your application. So say, like for us, if you were going for practical nursing, you're going to declare practical nursing on your information. You're going to get accepted to the college. However, that doesn't mean you're accepted to take those core nursing classes, right? The specific courses you're going to take for nursing. You're going to have to go through another almost application process for that. So you'll have likely another application that you'll fill out. Each college is going to be different on what that requirement is, what that application looks like. So just being familiar with that, knowing, yep, okay, I know I'm going to have to apply to the program. And then biggest thing too with those selective admission program is looking at what the requirements are to be accepted into the program. Is it going to be a testing requirement? Are they looking for a certain GPA? Are they looking for a certain ACT score? Or, for example, like a testing requirement for us, again, for that practical nursing or any nursing, we require what's called an ATI-TEAS exam. So what that stands for is a test of essential academic skill. Any one of our students that are looking to get into nursing have to take this exam, right? So we're looking for a minimum overall score, and then students are ranked according to that score. So the better you do on the test, the better chance you have at getting into the program. Other programs may require what are called prerequisite coursework. So again, you're going to apply to the college, you're going to declare whatever that major is. And if it requires prereqs, that's what you're going to start with. You'll complete, the necessary prereqs for your program, and then you fill out that application and apply to determine if you're going to get a spot in the program. So just, again, exploring what program you're interested at, what school. Each school may have a different process. So, I mean, we can speak of, what we do specifically at Northland, what we do at M-State, what we do at MSUM. But again, that's going to vary college to college. So biggest thing to remember from this, again, look at what the requirements are for the program at the college you're wanting to attend. That'll give you a really good idea of what it's going to take to get into the program, how competitive that program is going to be, and so on.
All right, I guess this is where I get an opportunity to jump in and give Logan a little bit of a break. On our panel, we've got people that have been in admissions and working for institutions that have healthcare programs for a range of years. Okay. And I've probably been at this maybe the longest on the panel. Not to tell you how old I am, but I've been giving campus tours at Northland and been doing college fairs for a long, long time. And in all topics of conversation, and with everyone being in a spot where they're looking at what they're going to do after high school, your assignment at this point in time is to kind of do your homework career-wise, okay? Because regardless of whether you know this yet or not, you are all talented in something, okay? You've got a natural gift or a natural talent in something, whether you have found that yet or not, okay? And I think the magic recipe out there is if you can find out what you're talented or gifted in, get your education in that, and get paid to do that for a living, I think that's going to make for a really fruitful career for you, you know, with you all being in the seats that you are right now. So with the exploring college option slide that we are on right now, I would encourage you all to do your homework, okay? Logan mentioned earlier that job shadowing is an opportunity that most of you would have access to. And if you don't know how to get started, communicating with your high school counselor typically is a good direction to start, okay? It is a zero cost, maybe just a little bit of time to get out there and, you know, take a look and see, is this something that I really am interested in doing, okay? The next steps you probably want to get into is, how far away are the institutions that actually offer the program that I want? And how far am I willing to go from home in order to be able to attend those institutions? Okay, because you got to have a radius. And then one of the most important things is you absolutely have to be comfortable in whatever college you decide to go to, whether it's a 2-year school or whether it's a 4-year school. You have to feel comfortable and feel that you're in the right place in order to be as truly successful as you want to be, okay? So that leads us to scheduling campus tours, okay? That's part of doing your homework and making a good educated decision in terms of where you're gonna go, okay? If you're taking a look at, let's say, a nursing program, and all 3 of us on our panel have nursing, okay, in our area, it would be in a student's best interest if that was their program that they were leaning towards, to visit all 3 programs, because you'd get the information in terms of what it takes to get into the college, what it takes to get into the school, what it takes to get into the program as far as program prereqs and admissions process goes, and then ultimately, what's it going to cost? I mean, as far as things are concerned now, education in today's day and age is a consumer product, okay? So it's something that you need to look at in terms of how much is it going to cost me to get the education that I want so that I can get out and go to work and start to earn a decent living for myself, okay? I don't know if this is a popular belief, but I will say it anyway. Not everyone's built for a 4-year school, okay? So if your career path has you on a 2-year plan, there are plenty of 2-year degree options that are going to earn you out of the gate more than a 4-year degree would, okay? So as far as allied health programs go, we've got broad offerings through the colleges that are on this panel here, where you're going to see here in a couple of slides that, holy, I didn't even think you could do that for a living. And we've got a program to get you trained and to get you out and to start to be able to earn for yourself that way. Location, we talked about. Course offerings. With COVID and everything that we've gone through this year, as far as the 3 institutions on the panel goes, we have had to adapt to the needs of our students in ways that we probably never imagined we would have to, okay? And so what that means is the delivery of college education now is going to change and adapt, and it maybe never will go completely back to a way that it was. On-campus lectures all the time, you know, on-campus clinicals and lab work all the time. It's just going to probably be different with more Zoom lectures and access to faculty members. But we have on-campus options between the 3 of us. We have online options for the 3 of us. So it really kind of is getting more custom made to students these days to be more driven to your specific learning delivery, however you want to get it. We are trying to adapt to the students that are out there in the way they want to get their education. So schedule your campus visits, because as juniors and seniors, you get excused absences from your schools to go out and do scheduled high school visits. Take advantage of those opportunities. And I will almost guarantee or promise you, when you do your campus visits, you're going to get a feeling and you're going to know, like, something inside of you is going to click and you're going to be like, this is the place that I want to be. Okay. And that's the type of confidence and the closure you're going to look for when you're making that decision anywhere you decide to go to school. So I'll leave it with that.
You know, and just to build off that a little bit too, we commonly get asked by counselors, parents, you know, what's the best advice I can give my student, or I can give my son or daughter, right? And I would bet majority of reps are always going to say, tour campus. I mean, that's where you're going to get the most information. That's where you're going to get the most bang for your buck. You may already know where you want to go and for what program. And what I would encourage you to do is absolutely go tour that place, but also tour places that, you know, kind of also meet the needs of what you're looking at, just so you have something to compare it to, right? So it may solidify your answer. Absolutely, this is 100% what I want to do, where I want to go. But it also, you know, opens up avenues to colleges maybe you haven't thought about before that can also fit your needs.
Thank you, Nick and Logan. Guys, Nick hits it all. He's really a grandfather in this program. So I would say this reach out to Uncle Nick. It's going to give you some of those big uncle advice on schools to visit. So
well, and in the group, I think I'm the only one that has kids in college right now. So I'm just sharing with you guys my own personal experience. She did 5 or 6 college visits, and when she was on campus and it felt right to her, she knew exactly where she was going and there was zero doubt. So schedule your campus visits within your radius, go take a look, and it's just going to give you it'll cost you a little bit of time, not money, but in terms of confidence in your decision, there you go. That's what you need to do. Sorry.
Awesome. Moving on to the next page, I would say yes. I liked when Nick mentioned that not everyone is cut for 4-year institution, which we all agree to. And I always like that. There are so many instances where students will come to me I would say, I would highly recommend you go to community college, get this degree, and then come back to us. That way it solidifies, your passion and interest in joining us. So looking at transferring from 2 years to college to 4 years, we are all in the Minnesota State school system. So if that's something you're thinking about, know that most of your classes, all your generals from any of these other 2-year schools will transfer over to us. So you don't have to have a doubt like, will this transfer? Is this going to be something I have to retake? Am I wasting my time? Know that as long as that goal fulfills your last goal, or we call it your generals or your MNTC goals, so many names, right? Acronyms. Don't worry, when you get into the system, you get used to those names. As long as it's completed in your 2-year program, it's going to transfer over to us. Transferring also, one of the good things about being in the health is one option is the RN to Bsn Online Program. So what that means is that you stay in your community college and get your resident associate in RN, resident nurse, and then sometimes after working for a year or 2 or just a month, you're like, well, I need to go back in there to get your Bsn, and then you come over to us, and then you're like, okay, well, yes, how do I go about this? You can still keep your job, your RN job, while going to school. You can take your time, 1 class per semester, 2 classes per semester, as long as, as much as you can, to get your Bsn. It's a smooth process, a smooth transition, and that's what we're here to help you. Well, not all of us want to be the nurse, right? We want to work in healthcare, but we don't want to be poking and, doing the nursing part. Then we do also have the healthcare administration program. In the next slide, you will see the couple of, degrees you can get in healthcare program. So this healthcare administration is a step for you that, okay, well, I have my AA in, in anything other than nursing, but I want to get a bachelor's. Healthcare administration will give you that leeway and avenue for you to get into that. One other thing I would like to mention is the advising and mentoring program. So what that means is that in all of the schools, you will be mentored and advised by professionals in that field. You would have someone that would go through, that you will go through with. By your first 2 semesters, you would know that, okay, this is not my field or this is my field. Talking to someone and that would help you in that way. So one instance is here at MSU, and we do have something we call Focus 2. So it's like an assessment that we give you to see what really are you good at. You know, Nick said, go to school and do what you love doing, right? Go to school and do something that you're passionate about. There are surveys out there that you can actually take that would give you an idea of, well, I don't really like people, but I like to work. Then, you know, go to IT, you know, go to something that you have 0 or no contact with people and you still make money and enjoy doing your thing. Or I really want to talk to people. If I don't talk to someone a day, I'm going to go crazy. Yes, there are so many jobs like that. I have empathy. I want to help. So would line and help you line your job. I still want to work in healthcare, but I don't want to be, I don't like blood. There are so many jobs for you, you know, so there are so many surveys there. When you visit a school, ask those schools about what are these surveys that I can do to actually fine tune what I really like, I'm passionate about. So transferring in or staying at 2-year college or starting at 4-year college, there's so many options for you. This next slide would open up more ideas for you on what you can do and how you can get that done. I see a couple of, oh, that's a very good question. I see someone asked that, what's the difference between RN, BSN, and CNN? For RN is a bachelor's in nursing. BSN is a bachelor's in nursing. RN is just like getting an associate in nursing. I'm sure you mean CNA, right? Logan or Nick, can you talk more about what CNA is?
Yeah, I can jump in there. The Certificate Nursing Assistant is a CNA, okay? And the CNA is an entry-level position into most nursing fields and is most likely going to be a prerequisite or requirement to get into any practical nursing program that you're going to find, okay? So the next step up from a CNA would be a practical nursing degree. Then we're going to move up to a registered nursing degree, and then the bachelor's degree in nursing comes up next, and then a master's degree in nursing can come after that, and, you know, even up to a doctoral degree in nursing, okay? So those are the steps. If we're going to look at it in terms of stairs and climbing and delivery, every step in training gets us paid a little bit more, and the responsibilities go up a little bit more each time we take an advance in our education. So I hope that can maybe clear up some of those questions.
Another good question that is asked is the RN to BSN online? Yes, it is online. You do not have to come to Morehead for anything. You know, you don't have to come to Morehead even for your graduation. You can do everything, you know, online wherever you are. So you don't have to come to Morehead for clinicals. So that way you can stay wherever you are, keep doing your clinicals where you're working as an RN. If that answers your question.
And I think that's a big draw for students too, you know, so we'll see a number of students that their end goal is a BSN, right? They know they want to go on for that bachelor's degree, but going the route where they kind of go in them steps like Nick talked about. Maybe they start with their 2-year RN, right? That allows them to go to work, make some money, but also knowing there's options out there for these completion programs. You know, again, working with your work schedule, doing the courses online, it allows you to make money while completing your bachelor's degree, you know, so where that, again, where you can see that pay bump, where you can see those different responsibility changes. And ultimately, that's going to be what students have to decide too. You know, is that 2-year route something you want to start with, or are you fit for that 4-year route right off the bat? Are you looking at, if you're, again, we're using nursing as a lot of examples, please know that we have other programs. Besides that, it's just, for us, I mean, I know it's a really common one that we see a lot of students come for, right? But some students are built for that 4-year option too, right off the bat. Some are built to go right into that BSN program, right? So it's going to be dependent on the student, what their learning style is, and really how they want to go about getting to that end goal.
There's a question here. Can you, again, can you go to the next page? But there's a question here. Someone asked, would you suggest biology as a major? I want to go into LK, but not sure what. So I would say at MSUM, you can. I can guarantee, at least I always tell students, your first year or by the end, towards your third semester or your second year, there will be some general classes that you would be taking that would connect you to what you want to take, okay? And also you can take a survey in school that would direct you on the clearer path. But yes, biology is a major. We do have a program called Biology, Health, and Medical Science. So that way you're open to different areas of biology. There, something might click. You might want to be a veterinarian, or you might want to do ENT, that's ear, nose, and throat, things like that. There'll be so many other classes that you will take that would actually spark something in you that would lead you to. Nick or Logan, do you want to add, like, would you suggest biology as a major?
I mean, what we're going to do here, and this is probably not going to be a very popular idea, okay? But we've got almost 70 people in this group. And what I would like to do right now is just dispel the notion that pre-med is a thing, okay? Pre-med is not a major, okay?
I was waiting for you to bring that
up.
Yeah,
I feel pretty passionately about this, but this question specifically about biology and a science-related field is typically one that if somebody wants to go to medical school or law school, the same concept will apply, okay? You are going to get your undergrad, like your bachelor's degree, in something that's related to science, okay? That's going to give you a leg up when you apply to medical school and then you become a medical student. So if you're going to be a chemistry major or a biology major or something science related for your undergrad, that doesn't make you pre-med. It makes you a chemistry major or a biology major or marine, something in a science related field that's going to help you get into medical school, okay? Pre-med isn't a major. So I'll stop harping on this, but to answer the question that was posed, if you're looking beyond something, like medical school, yeah, biology and in a science related field is an absolute bonus when you're going to be applying to medical school for your doctoral degree. Yeah.
Yeah, Nick kind of hit the nail on the head there. But we see students declare biology a lot. Yes, if the plan is to go on afterwards. It's a good building block for those students that know, master's or higher is that end goal for them.
And potentially another pathway could be a 2-year degree that we have, or M-State has. Graduate with your 2-year health degree, whatever it might be. You can transfer to MSUM or another 4-year school and build to your bachelor's degree in healthcare administration, okay? Now you've got a bachelor in healthcare service administration, and that could springboard you to medical school, potential pathway, because now you have a background in something medically related, and you obviously, with the healthcare service administration, understand the operating and dealings of how hospitals are run and different departments are run. So there's many different pathways a person could take through a 2-year into a 4-year onto medical school that, you just never know exactly how far it can take you. So never sell yourself short, I would say.
Looks like you guys got great questions today. So another question came in: what are the steps you can take to become a doctor? If that's the end goal for you, you're gonna like school, that's for sure. So typically for that, and please correct me if I'm wrong, Nick or Aaron, but typically you're gonna go complete your undergrad, so a 4-year degree, right? You're gonna study for what's called the MCAT, and then depending on that, you're gonna apply to a number of different colleges. to get accepted into a program and then you're looking at, I believe it's another 4 years.
4 to 6, depending on residency. Yep.
4 to 6, typically 2 years of residency or so. And then there may be a fellowship involved with that as well. So it depends on the program and it depends on where you're at, but I would say it's typically anywhere from roughly 10 to 13 years, somewhere in there.
I would like to challenge you all that next time you go for your medical, appointment, or you see someone that says, I'm a medical doctor, ask, how did you go? You would be blown away that you would have different story every time. Some have the right path. Some started from being a radiologist, and then they just kept climbing on to the next one, And you might have a nurse practitioner as your as your doctor. Ask, how did they go to that? How did they get to that? There are different routes that you can use to get to be a doctor or a nurse practitioner, to practice. First thing first is, one, as Logan said, you have to love school. Either way, you can't escape, spending years, decades in college, but there are different routes you can take. If your route is like, I want to stay at home, I want to stay with my family, and I want to go through that steps, then look into a program, 2-year program in health profession. Even if it's to be a phlebotomy technician, learn how to go through that route, then take the next step, and keep going. All you have to do, like Nick said, there's nothing like pre-med. So you can keep climbing, do all the necessary classes that will take you to the next step. That's all. That's just a step. You need to keep going.
It's like having required generals to get into some of our allied health programs that we have. Okay, so if we were to go down the list, and we don't need to read off all the programs that we have, we won't insult anybody's intelligence, but programs specifically, our Radiological Technology program has required generals that have to be taken and passed before you can apply and get accepted to the program, just as an example. So what Aaron is saying is, all you can do is look at what the program requirements are in front of you and just get after them. Just go at them and just start knocking them down one at a time. And then, once those hurdles start falling, or once you start getting over them, you're just going to be able to keep that momentum going. It's going to require a heck of a lot of hard work, but once you start getting over one hurdle, the next one is like, okay, I got that first one, let's bring on that next one. And then you start to gain really good momentum that way.
So I think we'll finish up our presentation here, and then we'll try and get to the rest of your guys' questions, because I see there's a number more that came in. And again, great questions you're asking. So we want to make sure that we leave time to get to those. So we'll just finish up we only have a couple slides left, and then we'll answer the rest of your questions here quick. But again, this program page, again, Nick said, we're not gonna read it out loud to you. We just want to give you an idea of the different programs and options that you have as students. So, you can see there's a number of different options there available to you. So just, again, start exploring those different options at whatever school you're interested in. So some common questions that we see come up, number one, is there a specific application for the healthcare field? And do you have to pay for that application separately? We've talked a lot about those open enrollment versus selective admission programs. So it's just going to be dependent on what program you're looking at and what school you're looking at. For the most part, we don't require an extra application fee or anything as far as applying to a selective admission program. Some schools may, I have no idea, but we do not. And then what are clinicals? So clinicals are where you're going to get a lot of your hands-on opportunity, right? You're actually performing the job duties that you're going to school for in a controlled setting. So you're going to be at the actual hospital. You're going to be, if you're doing rad tech, you're going to be in the lab. You're going to be helping take those pictures, different things like that. But you'll be with what's called a preceptor. So somebody will be pretty much in charge of you, making sure that you're doing what's needed, making sure that you're following protocol, everything like that, but also there to answer any questions that you may have. Because as a clinical student, you're pretty much a guest of the hospital. You don't necessarily work at the hospital that you're attending. So that preceptor is typically an employee, but again, is there to kind of follow whatever questions, whatever comes up. Aaron, do you want to take that third one?
Yes. So what if I don't get into the program? That's okay. You know, there are so many ways, so many programs. All you need to do is communication. You know, I know this generation, you have to pull words out of your mouth, you know, when you're talking to an advisor. But in this case, it's your life, it's your career. You need to talk to your advisor about it. They can help you, guide you through a way to find a similar program, you know, a program that is connected also to your passion, or help you with, why didn't I get into this program? Am I struggling with this? There are advising process, advising times, or tutors that I need to retake the exam to get into the program. The thing here you need to take out from this is you're not alone, okay? So we are in this journey with you. There will be tough times. There will be times where the program is going so well. I thought I liked people, but I'm not liking all these classes I'm taking to get a job I want. What can we do about this? We can work with you to help you to get to that level. You might also think, well, I really want to be a medical doctor, and you've started a journey, you're like, nope, this is not for me. You know, that's also a thing. The point is you're having plans and you're moving forward, not giving up and dropping out along the way. So that's what I would say about that. And if I can take the other one, to with my PSEO or concurrent credit transfer, yes, you know, yes, and yes, and yes. You're not wasting money taking those PSEOs. They are helping you, guiding you, saving you money. You know, someone asked the question, how would I save money? How would I go through all this school without being in debt? Take some PSEO classes. You know, that's just saving you a couple of classes. Each class, you know, take as many as you can. But my advice is, if you take a PSEO class, please, please, please make sure you pass them. It's stamped on your transcript, you know, for life. It would haunt you. So please ensure that while you're taking PSEO classes, get good credits from there, so that it doesn't burn you, you know, along the way.
Absolutely, yes. Take it very serious, because again, these courses, if you're taking PSEO or concurrent classes, you know, that are going to count towards your prereqs for a program, right? A lot of times colleges are looking at how you did in those prereqs to determine if students are going to get spots in the program. So it's very important to take those classes serious, as they may have important implications when you're looking at applying to actual programs. But a great opportunity for you to take advantage of if you wanted to get a head start on that college career. It's not uncommon. We've seen students transfer in 30, 40 credits, you know, almost finish up a degree with us. And doing those credits for free. It's kind of crazy. Typically, they're not going for a healthcare specific program. They may be going for a general transfer degree. But still, it's not uncommon that students have a number of these credits done. So if you're not taking advantage of PSEO or concurrent, I would highly encourage you to take a look at that and work with your counselor on it.
And I'm sure in the situation that we're all in, Logan and I specifically, with the liberal arts degree and what your generation has labeled just generals, you know, through PSEO and college and high school, you can save yourself almost $12,000 in tuition if you are serious enough about getting after that general college education. Okay. We've had people that have come through Northland through PSEO full-time and graduate with their liberal arts degree before they've technically graduated and finished their high school diploma. So, I mean, it's just an opportunity if you are very focused and very driven in terms of what you want to do, and you have the opportunity to have somebody pick up the tab, which PSEO and concurrent enrollment or college and the high school is. Let somebody else pick up the tab for that tuition for you for a couple of years, because if your plan is to go on and get your bachelor's degree or maybe get a graduate degree and a master's, or apply to medical school and become a doctor, that $12,000 it'll be nice to be able to pass that tab off to somebody else. So it's a good affordable way to get started with some things and get headed in the right direction too.
Nick and Aaron, are you guys good with just going to the last slide and answering these other questions that we have? We got about 5 minutes left, it looks like. So we wanted to just put our contact information on there. Please feel free to reach out to us. If you come up with any questions specifically, let us know. We'll give you time to jot this down. And as you're doing that, we'll go through and answer some more questions that you guys have typed up for us. So one of the questions was, are some of these programs capped at a certain number each year? The answer for us is yes. So like a lot of our selective admission programs, again, that we've talked about, which are going to be like rad tech, cardio, dental hygiene, dental assisting, they have certain numbers that we can accept each year. So again, the important part of that is going to be to look at your program requirements, look at the admission requirements of what it's going to take to get in. And a lot of times that'll tell you how many students they accept into the program each year. Another question, what are steps to becoming a dentist or a dental hygienist? Again, I can touch on the dental hygiene part as we have that program here. So that again would fall under a selective admission program. Students are going to complete prerequisite coursework for us. So there's a set list of courses that you're going to take. And then once those are completed, you're going to apply to the program. We're going to look at how you did in those prerequisite coursework and determine if you're going to get one of the spots. Dental hygiene does have an option for a bachelor's degree as well. Ours is going to be an Associate of Applied Science is what students are coming away with. Ultimately, job outlook is the same. Pay is likely going to be the same. Responsibilities are going to be the same. For the most part, that bachelor's degree is going to be looked at more for managerial or supervisor roles when it comes time for that. Dentist, we have a couple questions for that. I see you're becoming a doctor, right? So we kind of covered what it's going to take to become a doctor. So a dentist is a doctor. So it's going to be kind of that same route. So you're going to complete your undergrad and then you're going to apply to that specific school, wherever that's going to be, to complete your medical training, really. Lots of ones that want to become a dentist. So that seems to be a popular choice. Looking at pediatrician. So again, pediatrician would also be a doctor. So looking at the same kind of training for that. Again, 4-year undergrad, go to medical school, complete that, do your residency, internship, so on. Let's see here. Any advice on how to do all these years of schooling without being in deep debt? Anybody else want to take that? There's lots of options as far as financial aid goes. Students may qualify for grants. If that's the case, that's money awarded that you don't have to pay back. A lot of students may work throughout college to help alleviate some of those costs as well. Biggest thing I can tell you coming out of high school is apply for scholarships. You've probably heard it a million times, but it's really truly a way for students to get out of college with less debt. I mean, there's lots and lots of money, free money sitting out there for students that not a ton of them are applying for, right? So take advantage of that. Also, the schools you're looking at may have scholarship opportunities through them. They may have merit-based scholarships, so based off of your GPA, ACT scores. So again, look at that at each individual school as well. Steps to become a rad tech. Nick, you have rad tech, correct?
Yeah, we have a radiological technician. Yep. And our program is essentially about a 3-year program. It's 83 credits. We have a required list of generals that a student either needs to take and pass or be currently registered for in order to get into or apply to our program. And then essentially what they do is they go through the applicant pool. They award points based on grades for the required generals for the program. And then the 16 people that earn the most points during the screening process are the ones that get accepted to the program that starts fall. So it's really pretty cut and dried. There's no application process, no letters of recommendation, no interviews, no nothing. It's do good in the required generals and you'll get into the program.
And that is exactly how ours runs as well. Prerequisite coursework.
Time is up. All right.
Yeah, time is up, everybody. I would love to thank our presenters so much. I know I learned a lot today, and hope that you students took away a lot of really helpful information. When you exit the meeting today, the webinar today, there'll be a quick 4-question survey that will appear, and we really invite you to fill that out so we can take that information back as we plan future events. Again, sign up for more sessions if you have the time at strivescan.com/Minnesota. And again, the recording will be available in about a week on that website as well. So thank you very much to our presenters, and thanks for attending.